Okay, let's see if this thing is working. Not too bad. I don't know how the sound is on that. But today I was kind of going to go over a little bit of how I set up when I do my practicing and uh, so forth. So, yeah, see, practice does make a difference. Um, Problem is when you're practicing, you got to make sure that you're doing it on a regular basis. Unlike me, I can't seem to. Can't really seem to get the time to do some regular practicing. With this COVID crap that's been going on, us nurses are like really in demand. Last week it was 72 hours in the ICU. So really didn't get any chance to practice whatsoever last week. It was, you work 12 hours on midnights. You get home, first thing you want to do is you want to take a shower. You want to make sure you get all that off of you. Then you want to get something to eat because, well, you worked for 12 hours. And after that, you've been up for 14 hours or so. And you're looking at yourself and you're like, well, how much time do I have? Well, I only have a little bit of time, but the puppy needs to go out. You need to talk to your wife about this, that, or the other. Kids got questions for you. By the time that you're done doing all that, you have about a 6-hour window of getting sleep again. So after 72 hours last week of work, I didn't get any practice in whatsoever, and it can really affect how you're doing things. I've been told that you should be doing at least 15 minutes a day of practice, and I can believe that because, man, after you've taken a week or so off, like I had to, coming back and playing again is you feel like you've lost some of that edge, and it's not sounding as good as what it was before you before when you were doing stuff. I mean, even with like when you're you feel like you could do that a lot quicker than what you did the week before, and you're just trying to get by and you're really not getting. I didn't have as much fret noise last week as what I'm doing this week, so I'm not getting the frets exactly how I'd like them. And as a beginner, you get frustrated with that because it's not in you all the way just yet. So you're still trying to learn all these things, and you need to have that repetition because practice makes permanence. Practice doesn't make perfect unless you're doing perfect practice. But practice makes permanence. So doing a regular routine of practice and hitting those things over and over again. I mean, if you jam all your practice into one session, it's sort of like when you're getting ready for finals for college. You kind of remember it for the final, but 2 weeks after the final, do you really remember what you had studied? I don't think so. So by doing it in small increments, it's like studying all semester long for it. And you kind of build on it and build on it, so then when it comes to your final, you got it down pat. Whereas the person who jams the night before, they might do good on the test, but then you do that same test 2 weeks later, they're not going to know it. They're not going to know their stuff. So that's why it's important that you do that 15 minutes a day. I can't get to it. I mean, I don't have enough time to do it. I don't have enough regimen in my schedule because my schedule switches every single week. I don't have a choice of when I worked a lot of times. So getting even lessons done is not on a regular basis. But I can see where if I had lessons planned, even with online lessons planned for certain days and practice up until that point, where I would probably be a hell of a lot farther with my guitar than what I am now. Am I happy still? Yeah, I'm still happy. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still doing it. You know, it's fun. It's something to do, especially when it's like now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to work tomorrow night, so I have to try to switch my sleep schedule around again, so I can sleep and get some rest. So I'm not up for like 24, 27 hours at a time when I first start out, and I'm more with it. So I'll be up now. I got up, and now I'm gonna practice a little bit, and then I'll go to bed late in the morning so I can get up in the early afternoon so I can take my shower and get ready for work. But then I'm going to be on for several days in a row, and it's going to be hard to get back and grab the guitar. So that's one of the reasons why I also, if I do have the time, I do like to grab it. That's why I keep my guitar out, and I do have like a little stand to put it on, so I can have it out. Remind me, I don't have to go and grab it out of the case, and I can just leave it right out there, and where I can see it, and I can go, oh, well, I got a couple of moments here. I'll just, come over. I'll just grab it, and I don't even need to have a pick, and just do some of my chords. Trying to know them all. See, I know this better than this. So I can just grab it and just play a little bit, and then I can put it back down again. That's not the right strumming pattern for that song, but that's all right, for right now. But next time I grab this, it's going to be harder to remember the proper, because I just practiced it, but didn't practice it perfectly, because practice makes permanent. So now I'm going to have to go back. It's going to be harder for me the next time I play to remind myself to do the right one. So next time it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. But one of the things that I do when I am practicing is I have out as you see, I'm sitting on a chair that's about the right height. Over here I have my music stand, as you can see, and I have one of my books out. Now the book that I have here is just a regular fold-out book, and this is my song book in a way. So if I come in to do a song, and I'm trying to do it from what I see online, I'll try to write it down. Now, I don't write it down necessarily how you might think I might do it, or other people do. I don't know if this will show, but I just write down the chords and the strumming pattern on here, just the chord names, for these cowboy chords and so forth. And then, over here I'm trying to learn tabs are down at the bottom there. that page. I'm not good at tabs. I gotta get better at them. I know there's a lot of songs out there and a lot of like picking that is easier to do when you're reading tabs than it is when you're trying to look at regular chords. So I just write down the letter of the chord, and the number is how many beats that I'm going to be doing for that one. Now, if I have a hard time with remembering which one of the chords is, then I grab my chord chart. And with my chord chart, I have down what each of them are. So if I forget what my chord is, I can come and just grab my chart book and try to figure out what chord it is from my chord book. And these are my chord books, so I make this myself. I just downloaded this chart thing from the internet, printed off a whole mess load, and then I can write them all down. So I put them in here, and I try not to look at this as much as I can, so I can helps me memorize the chords a little bit better, rather than having the chord letter like a D and then having the chart right underneath it for each one of these. It makes it so it's a little, I have to memorize the shape of the chords myself when I'm going to do it. So I have my songbook that I'm making over here, I have my chord charts on here, and I have extras that are down in the bottom here. I do have some that I've downloaded, but I try to keep those out of sight for me. And then I have, here's some other ones here that I have written down, but I try not to look at it too much. So when I'm practicing, I have this open, I can look straight at it. I'm not looking down because I didn't put my book down on like a coffee table or something like that, so I'm not leaning over like this. I'm actually sitting up looking at my book, and I can switch them out very easily for that. But the other book that I have that I've made for myself is this is like a theory book in a way. What I've done is I have a old book from when I was doing business, and I have them separated out. Here's where my little chart is. I don't on the wheel, and then I did out all the notes that are on the board. There's where it is again, printed out where it's easier for me to know. Makes little notes in here. On another section here, I have exercises that I've downloaded from the internet. Oop, that string's in the way. Again, I'm not a professional at this. I'm just a beginner at both the guitaring and doing this video stuff. Another thing that I have in here then, in another section, are scales. And I wrote down, what some of them are, what a root note is, and a tab breakdown, and some other things. And then I was able to print off the scales from online. So I know that's all backwards to you. So here's my A minor, but then with a note that it's where you started off is the name of whatever the scale is. So the 5th fret with number 6 string, or the thickest string, the 5th fret is A, so that's going to be the A minor pentatonic. But if you go down and you do the 3rd, the first one is here, or the 3rd, yeah, it's going to be a different one that you're going to do. This would be A3 here. That's going to be your G1. So that's, if you start here, that's your root note. So that's going to be your scale for that. And they're basically the same pattern, so you don't really have to learn anything until you get further down this way. because then up above here would be where you'd be placing your finger instead. So it's going to be the name of the string is what that one's going to be. And then it gets kind of weird because you can't put your finger there. You still have the same pattern. Can't you put your finger there? So it's going to be an open string pattern for it. So, but anyways, that's what I do with these. In the back, I do have a bunch of tabs, like Wonderwalls here. I got Crazy Train here. That's going to be in tabs, so that you can do out that. So that's how I keep my stuff organized for when I'm doing my practicing. And again, practice makes permanent, not perfect. You have to practice perfect for you to be perfect. So if you're practicing wrong, you're going to play wrong. So I've learned that if I go too fast, I can't get this down very well. And I do have to practice every day, because even when I have it down, one day this week off really screwed me up in trying to get what I need done. So I was doing that a lot faster without all the fret noise in it last week. So this week I'm kind of backed up and having to start over again. Life takes over though. Sometimes you don't have time to practice. So if you do have the time, if you do have the ability to set yourself down every day to practice, 15 minutes, you're one step ahead. You really are. Because when you don't have that regimen of practice, it can really throw you behind, and it can really make it so that you're feeling great. Oh my gosh, I'm getting this down so good. I have it down. And then the next week, because you didn't practice so much, you're like struggling again. So then you're trying to catch back up again, and it's kind of tough to do that, especially as a beginner. If you've been playing for a number of years, I'm sure you can set it down and come back, and within a few moments you're back up to where you want it to be, and you're doing just great with it. But as a beginner, you really need to have that consistency in practice, which I just can't get with what I do. What I really need to do is win the lotto so I can spend more time doing this and practicing more, but I'd probably find other things to do too. But I just love playing. I just don't have the time to do it as much as I wish. I wish I had more time to practice. One day I want to play in front of my family. I'm just not confident enough yet, and practicing will get me to that confidence. It's just going to take me a little bit longer than what I want it to because of this. So, but anyways, that's what's going on right now. That's happening this week. COVID's got us locked down in Michigan again, and a couple weeks from now it's going to be Christmas, and so there's a lot of stuff going on. Today I got my coffee mug here. Let's see if we can't get it. Yeah, it's another Disney coffee mug. This is one of my favorites. This one I got long time ago. First trip we ever took with the kids to Disney. They were 1 year old. The twins were. My oldest was 6. Brenda's now 25. Twins are 20. April, they're turning 21. They want to go back and go to Epcot and drink around the world at Epcot. I don't drink, but not anymore. Used to. And I have no problem with them doing it. So I'll go and I'll be their designated lean on me pull so we can get back to the hotel person. And but this one here we bought the first time, so it's about 19 years old. It's the last trip that we took with my mom before she passed of Lou Gehrig's disease. But that's my coffee mug for today. I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm going to get back to doing my regular practice now. So maybe the next time when I do a video, I'll be doing a little bit better of a job. Keep at it, folks. Keep practicing, because I love it. I hope you do too. Have a great day.